Hello everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for visiting with me today. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. We do all kinds of content here. Food related, shopping hauls, true crime, DIY, SFX makeup vlogs, and Disney content. In this video, we're going to discuss a documentary currently on Peacock. ABUSED by Mom, the Ruby Franke scandal. I'm sorry I have to spell that word out. YouTube doesn't like it. Before I jump in, let me give you a quick explanation as to who Ruby Franke is. And this is going to be super quick. She was a mom vlogger on YouTube with a channel called 8 Passengers, featuring her now estranged husband Kevin, and their 6 children. They were pretty controversial, especially Ruby. The parents seemed to delight in humiliating the children and also denying their children food. She stopped producing content on that channel and started a partnership of sorts with a therapist by the name of Jody Hildebrandt. Last year, after her youngest son escaped Jody Hildebrandt's home and went to a neighbor for help, the police were called and a widely publicized investigation began. Jody and Ruby were both arrested for CA and have since pleaded guilty and have been sentenced. And we're just going to talk about the documentary about that. So the documentary brings us 8 years prior to her arrest date of August 30th, 2023 in Springville, Utah. And they discuss the content created on 8 Passengers. The YouTube channel showing a happy, healthy, ideal family. But it doesn't take long to start to see how far Ruby will go for content and also how they treated their children like commodities. Whenever they were less than perfect, how they were treated then also. Viewers knew they were watching something sinister, but Ruby was rebellious and believed her way was the right way, and the relationship between Ruby and her followers started to kind of go bad. To better manage their children in 2019, Ruby and Kevin sought out counseling from Jody Hildebrandt. Jody was the founder of this program called Connections. Jody called it a multifaceted life coaching business. Jody shortly moved into the Franke home as Ruby and Kevin's marriage counselor, which is bizarre, but they talk about that in the documentary. The issue of Ruby not bringing her 6-year-old daughter lunch at school is brought up. That was a big point for all of us. It's cruel to let a 6-year-old be hungry. It probably wasn't the only time that happened either. Then the documentary talks about Ruby and Kevin arguing against the backlash, saying that what they do is recommended by therapists. Well, one of those therapists was Jody Hildebrandt, and we know that her methods were just flat out wrong. They were wrong. The 8 Passenger channel stopped posting, or Ruby stopped posting, and 4 months after that, Ruby is seen again with Jody Hildebrandt as a mental fitness instructor on a new channel for Connections. Ruby was sinister, but with Jody, this master of absolute terror, together they were a dark, dangerous force to Ruby's children. One speaker who chose to be anonymous talked about how crafty Jody was in, snaking her way into Ruby's life and Ruby's mind. A former client of Jody, Trey Warner, said she outed a close friend of his in the men's group, and he told Jody there's something inside of her that's evil, and he was right about that. He talks about her gaslighting and honestly her greed. She got a lot of money for those sessions. And the documentary talks about Kevin and Ruby separating because of Jody's influence and teachings. It's like Ruby was dark and capable of evil, but with Jody's help, she could be shaped into the little monster Jody wanted her to be. Well, she was already a monster. They talk about the chillin' 911 call from Jody's neighbor. 10. We'll play that right here.
911, the address of your emergency. Okay, and the phone number you're calling from. Tell me exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house, and we know there's been problems at this neighbor's house. He's emaciated, he's got tape around his legs, he's hungry, and he's thirsty.
Okay. Is your door locked?
No, I'm sitting outside with him on the front patio.
Okay, cool.
And he asked us to call the police.
What's
So
his
he's
name?
very afraid. What's your last name? He's 12 years old. Yes.
Okay, and can you ask him his date of birth?
Can you tell me your birthday?
Okay, and are the neighbors out of their home, or is anybody looking for them that you can see?
No. Our homes are far enough away. I'm not sure. How did you get out of the house?
Porch. He went out.
He says he just left through the porch at the neighbor's house. Her name is Jody Hildebrand, and she lives 2 doors up the street.
Out here in Cayenne, the houses are far apart.
Yeah, out here in Cayenne, the houses are far apart, so he walked just under a block to get to our house. He rang my doorbell and asked me to call the police.
Does he seem to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
I don't think so, but he's very thirsty, and
Need an ambulance?
I don't think he needs an ambulance. I'll let the cops decide that, but his ankles are taped up, and he won't tell us why.
Okay.
But he has duct tape around each ankle. Yeah, there's sores around them. I think there's a good chance he's been...
He also said...
Oh, and he has them around his ankles. I mean, his wrists as well. Okay, this boy has been... He needs... This kid has obviously been... I think he's been detained. He's obviously covered in wounds.
Okay. Let's get the paramedics headed over that way, okay?
Oh, that's a good idea, too.
Let's see. Has he told you where his mom or dad are?
Haven't asked him that. Yeah. You know where your mom is?
I really got these moves.
Yeah, I'm sure that doesn't matter, son. Do you know where your mom and dad are?
Well, actually, I don't know where my mom is, but I do know where my dad is. He's not anywhere here.
No.
Nowhere here.
Okay. No, he doesn't seem to. He says he knows where his mom is, but...
He doesn't know where his dad is.
That's correct.
I do know where my dad is.
Is his mom home?
He doesn't live
He just says he doesn't live around here.
Okay. Is his mom
we're
in
getting...
the area?
Is your mom around here? Have you seen her lately?
No,
He doesn't know where she is right now.
Does he know his mom's name?
What's your mom's name? Ruby Franke? Ruby Franke is his mom's name.
Okay. How do you spell the last name?
Franke.
Franke.
Okay. And does she live in the area?
No, I'm not sure where she lives. He's trying to help us, but he's...
That's okay. We don't want to stress him out too much. The officers will go over all these questions with him anyway. I just want to stay on the phone with you until we get some help there, okay?
Yeah,
What's your name?
my name is...
Okay. Can you ask him if any other children were in the home he came from?
Okay. Was there any other kids up at Jody's house?
Besides,
Anybody else? No. How old? Yeah, this is the 30th of, or excuse me, the 29th of August.
It'll be the 30th of August.
days.
10 and 14, and they're still at this house.
Are they tied up as well?
What's the deal with? Are they being held? Do they have wounds on them as well?
Nothing bad's going on with us.
Okay.
It's just me.
Okay. So they're able to walk around the house and everything? Well, okay. He says everything's fine with them. Grain of salt.
Okay.
He says what's happened to him is his fault.
That's not a problem. That's sad to hear. They're coming to you as quick as they can, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Really well.
Yeah,
I just want to make sure.
He's fine. I've got him sitting here. My wife, he got him water and giving him something to eat because he's hungry and just a young man. He's hearing his stocking feet. So he escaped.
Well, I'm glad that he was able to make it to
They're on their way.
so he could be safe. They should just be pulling up now. Let me know when they're with you, okay?
Will do. I hear a car, but they're not coming on the driveway. You did good. Enjoy that banana, okay?
Yeah, he just
did the right
a
thing.
few seconds ago, so he might be waiting for his partner. I'm not sure.
Is Jody up there right now?
Yes.
Okay. Jody Hildebrand is up there right now.
Okay.
So she may come looking for him here soon, but he's not going to, obviously. I think we need the cops here as soon as possible.
I'm just asking where he is now.
Yeah, she's a bad lady. We didn't realize how bad.
Okay, let's see. I'm just asking where he is. Well, it sounds like he's making a phone call real quick to his sergeant. He is going to head up.
Okay. All right. Well, if we have to take him inside the house, we will. We're just sitting outside right now because we have chairs out here and it was convenient.
That's okay. If anything, he's sitting out down your driveway and keeping an eye on the house. So if that's where you feel safe, that's where the child feels safe. So let's just stay where you're at.
Yeah. I think we're doing this. Yes.
Does he have anything with him?
But No, he's wearing a long sleeve shirt and shorts, and it's way too big for him.
Can you tell me what color the shirt and shorts
are? Okay, the ambulance is here.
Okay.
So.
Are they with you?
No, they're just not getting out of the truck.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and I'll let you go then. You did a great job.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye.
It's such a heartbreaking call. The man is so upset, but it's at least reassuring that he cared. A lot of people would have ignored the door these days. When the neighbor speaks to the 911 operator of Jody and says she's a bad lady, we didn't realize how bad, I wonder what he meant by that. Like, what has Jody done for him to know that? We already know that, but what has Jody done? That woman must be scary. I mean, what she and Ruby did was demonic, with lack of a better word. And I do think Ruby is more to blame. She didn't protect her children, but make no mistake, Jody is evil. She's probably pulling together a cute little cult in prison right now. And how emotional the man got on the phone was really heart-wrenching. But okay, the documentary also covers the search in Jody's house and Ruby's Springfield house, because they are looking for Ruby's other children. She has 3 other children that are unaccounted for. And the police do find Ruby's 10-year-old girl. She's emaciated, her head is shaved, she's terrified. It takes hours for the police and fire and rescue to get her to trust them enough to leave with them, so she can get taken care of. The children were in the hospital for 3 days. At this point in the documentary, the police are still trying to locate Ruby's 2 middle children. They found them at a lady named Pam Botcher's house. Pam seems confused, but her story is cleared and the police take the children into protective custody. There are some people that believe she's more responsible than she's claiming, but, Ruby and Jody were both charged with multiple counts of CA. Ruby is uncooperative and very defiant. And then Ruby Franke's personal journal is discussed. I read the whole thing in a previous video on my channel. It's unhinged, but I'll try to link it somewhere. They also discuss Kevin with his police interview to establish whether or not he had any involvement in what happened to these kids. And I know that everyone has their opinions about Kevin. I do too. But the police didn't find him culpable. But I think still the police were pretty disturbed that this stuff went on and he had no idea. Now I believe he was manipulated and deceived. I mean, yeah, he should have manned up, but we already know the things Jody did to men that fought back. Don't we? Does everybody know that? She would instruct wives on how to get the father's parental rights stripped. She's a devious snake and relished in making these wives devious snakes as well. So if Kevin put up a fight, I feel they would have made things a lot worse for Kevin. Ruby made several calls, clearly still under Jody's spell, if you will, and Ruby had no idea or didn't want to acknowledge how seriously damaged her 2 youngest kids' health was. She didn't want to acknowledge that at all. But in court in December 2023, finally she pleads guilty to 4 charges. There were originally 6 charges, but she made a deal and got 4 charges. 2 of them were dropped. And she had taken a deal, but Jody also took a plea deal. And in February 2024, they were both sentenced, and Ruby makes a statement in court basically saying she was brainwashed. But anyone familiar with Ruby knows she used hunger in the past to punish her children, and she had this in her all this time because she was cruel. And Jody made a statement that she loves the children, but she's twisted. She doesn't know what love is. She doesn't. So both ladies will serve anywhere from 4 to 30 years in prison. Kevin is still fighting for full custody of his minor children. No, there isn't really any new information, but this is a good documentary. It's put together well, and they have great speakers in it and a good explanation of what happened. So if you don't know what happened, or if you want to learn more about the story, this documentary is a good place to start. Again, it's on Peacock. But that's it. I just wanted to talk about that documentary for a minute, and I will talk to everyone later. Bye.